Hello everyone, this is Meenakshi Dilip Birari, working as a assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. We know that order, it is the sum of powers of concentrations of reactants involved in the rate equation. So, in determining overall order of a reaction, the role of each reactant is very important. Today, we are going to discuss several methods which can be used to determine order of chemical reaction. All these methods require essentially the measurement of concentration of the reactant or product at various time intervals. So, we are going to discuss the methods to determine order of chemical reaction, which are integrated rate equation method, graphical method, Van 't Hoff method or differential method, and half-life method. So, let's see in detail. There are several methods which can be used to determine order of a reaction. Some of the methods are being discussed below. These are integrated method, graphical method, initial rate method, and half-life method. All these methods require essentially the measurement of concentration of the reactant or product at various time intervals. So, in integrated method, the equation which gives a constant value of K decides the order of reaction. Then graphical method, in this the data are plotted according to different integrated rate equations so as to yield a straight line slope which gives the value of the rate constant. The third method, that is initial rate method, in this the concentration of one of the reactant is varied. Fourth one, half-life method. In this method, we plot half-life of the reactant versus concentration of the reactant. So let's see in detail the methods for determination of order of reaction one by one. Van 't Hoff method, half-life method, integrated rate equation method, and graphical method. First of all, integrated rate equation method. The concentration of reactants or products are obtained at different time intervals during the course of reaction experimentally. These concentration data are substituted in the various integrated rate equations of first, second and third order reaction, and value of rate constant, that is K, it can be calculated. The integrated rate equation, which gives nearly almost constant value of rate constant K for series of time intervals, determines the correct overall order of the chemical reaction. So this method involves the trial of one integrated rate equation after another. So integrated rate equation method is also a useful method to determine the overall order of a reaction. In this, the reaction under study is performed by taking different initial concentrations of the reaction and nothing the concentration after regular time intervals. So, the experimental values of A minus X and T are then substituted into integrated rate equation for first order, second and third order reactions. The rate equation, which yields a constant value of K, corresponds to the correct order of the reaction. So that in this method, one equation after the other undergoes trial till the correct equation is known. As this method involves the trial of different equations, it is usually called the bit and trial method. So, this method is also known as bit and trial method. The method involves trial of one integrated rate equation after another. But this method has a certain limitations. So what are the limitations of integrated rate equation method? First, the method can be used for simple reactions only and not for complex reactions. The second limitation is that in this reaction, the reaction should be studied over a wide time intervals. So these are the two limitations for integrated rate equation method. First one, method can be used for simple reactions only and not for complex reactions. Second one, in this reaction, the reaction should be studied over a wide time intervals. Now, the second method, that is graphical method. The advantage of this method over method is that in one graph both the reaction order and rate constant can be determined. The integrated rate law expression of different order can be arranged in terms of a equation of a straight line. So for the reaction of the type A gives products, we can determine the reaction order by considering whether a graph of the data fits one of the integrated rate equation in case of first order. We have already derived the integrated rate equations in previous lectures. Suppose we consider for zero order, first order, second order and third order reactions, what are the integrated rate equations? For zero order, integrated rate equation is equal x is equal to k0t. First order reaction, in that ln in bracket a minus x is equal to minus k1 into t plus ln a. For second order reaction, for equal initial concentrations, 1 upon a minus x is equal to k2 into t plus 1 upon a. And if we consider unequal initial concentrations, we have the integrated rate equation of second order, ln a minus x upon b minus x is equal to k2 into a minus b into t minus ln b divided by a. So it is for unequal initial concentrations. Then for third order reaction, 1 upon a minus x bracket square is equal to 2 k3 into t plus 1 upon a square. It is for equal initial concentrations. So if we plot the graph for zero order, first order, second order and third order reaction, we get the value of order of reaction and also the rate constant k. By using graphical method, one graph both the reaction order and also the rate constant can be determined. So for zero order reaction, we can plot the graph x versus time, that is x and x on y-axis and that is time on x-axis. So if we plot the graph, we get the straight line passing through origin. So this will be the graph for zero order reaction, that is x is equal to k0 into t. Then if ln a minus x is plotted against time t and a, then we get straight line, but this straight line, it does not passes through origin. Here the straight line having the negative slope. Whenever we plot the graph of ln a minus x, it is on y-axis and time on x-axis. So that if we consider the first order reaction, we obtain the straight line with negative slope. So slope is equal to minus k1, intercept is equal to ln A. Then if we consider the other example for second order reaction, we plot the graph of 1 upon a minus x against the time. Again we obtain the straight line with intercept. So 1 upon a minus x on y-axis and time on x-axis. If we plot the graph 1 upon a minus x versus time, we get such type of the graph. Here slope is equal to k2 and this one is the intercept is equal to 1 upon a. So it is for second order reaction with equal initial concentration. Then second one, second order reaction with unequal initial concentration. For that we can plot the graph of ln a minus x upon b minus x. It is plotted against time t. It is again straight line with intercept. So slope is equal to k2 in bracket a minus b. If we plot the graph of ln a minus x upon b minus x time t, intercept is equal to minus ln b upon a. For third order reaction, if we plot the graph of 1 upon a minus x bracket square against time t, the nature of the graph is straight line. The reaction will be third order reaction. Slope is equal to twice k3 and intercept is equal to 1 upon a square. So we have the integrated rate equations for zero order, first order, second order and third order reaction. So if we consider that integrated rate equation, all are in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So here by using that equation we get slope and also intercept. Y is equal to mx plus c. C is nothing but intercept. So for zero order reaction we get x is equal to k0 into t. Then for first order reaction, second order reaction and third order reaction, we have considered the graphs. So by using the graphical method, we can determine both the reaction order and also rate constant. Then the another method, that is half-life method, also called fractional change method. So this method is used only when the rate law contains only one concentration terms of reactant. In this method, time required for a reaction is completing a half-life of the reaction, which is determined at two different initial concentrations. For first order reaction, T half is independent of initial concentration of the reactants. Then for second order reaction, T half is inversely proportional to the initial concentration of reactant. So that T half is inversely proportional to initial concentration of reactant, that is A. For third order reaction, T half is inversely proportional to the square of the initial concentration of the reactant. So it is represented like that: T half inversely proportional to initial concentration, square of initial concentration of reactant. So for first order reaction, T half is independent of initial concentration of reactant. In general, we can write for nth order reaction, that is T half is inversely proportional to 1 upon a raised to n minus 1. So it is inversely proportional to a raised to n minus 1. T half is inversely proportional to a raised to n minus 1 for nth order reaction, where A is the initial concentration of the reactant and n is the order of reaction. For determining the order of a particular chemical reaction, the reaction is followed in two reactants, two different sets of experiments by taking two different initial concentrations, that may be A1 and A2 of the reactants. So, when A is the initial concentration of the reactant and N is the order of reaction, for determining the order of a particular chemical reaction, the reaction is followed in two different sets of experiments by taking two different initial concentrations, that may be A1 and A2 of the reactant. So for that, the corresponding half-life periods would be T half 1 and T half of second are obtained as we have T half of 1 is inversely proportional to A1 raised to n minus 1 and T half of 2 is inversely proportional to A2 raised to n minus 1. So this is the equation A and this will be equation B. So in general we can write for nth order reaction T half is inversely proportional to A raised to n minus 1. If we consider two different initial concentrations A1 and A2, then we have these two equations. T half inversely proportional to A1 raised to n minus 1, T half of 2 inversely proportional to A2 raised to n minus 1 for two different initial concentrations. So if we divide this equation A by B, we get T half of 1 divided by T half of 2 is equal to A2 divided by A1 raised to n minus 1. So taking the logarithm of above equation, we get log of T half of 1 divided by T of half of 2 is equal to n minus 1 log of A2 upon A1. Therefore, n is equal to 1 plus log of T half of 1 minus T half of 2 divided by log A2 minus log A1. Thus, with the help of this equation, we can find out the order of reaction. So, the above equation is used for calculation of order of reaction. So, if we substitute the values of A1, A2, T half of 1, T half of 2 in the above formula, then we obtain the order of the reaction, that is N. So many times the value of the order comes out a fraction, but it is near to an integer. In such cases, the nearest whole number integer gives the order of the reaction. So this equation is used for calculation of order of reaction. So it is the method, that is half-life method. By using that also we can determine order of reaction. Now the next one, that is differential method. So this method was first given by Von Top in 1884. According to the rate law for nth order reaction, the rate of a reaction varies as the nth power of concentration of the reactant. So rate of reaction is equal to minus d concentration of reactant A divided by dt is equal to K into concentration of A raised to n. Rate of reaction is equal to minus dA upon dt is equal to K concentration of A raised to n. So the experiment is carried out at two different initial concentration. We can say one initial concentration is A1 and the another one is A2, which follows the equation R1 is equal to minus dA of 1 divided by dt is equal to K into concentration of A of 1 raised to n. Then second equation, R2 is equal to minus dA of 2 divided by dt is equal to K concentration of A of 2 raised to n, where R1 and R2 are the rates of reaction at two different concentrations A1 and A2 respectively. So by taking the log of the equation 2 and equation 3, we get log of R1 is equal to log in bracket minus d of A1 divided by dt is equal to log K plus n log concentration of A1. Secondly, log of R2 is equal to log of minus dA2 divided by dt is equal to log of K plus n log of A2. So these are the equation 4 and 5. So from equation 4 and 5 we get n, which is the order of reaction. N is equal to log of minus dA1 divided by dt minus log of minus dA2 divided by dt divided by log of concentration of A of 1 minus log of concentration of A of 2 is equal to, this is the equation for R1 and it is the equation of R2. So that we have this 4 and 5 equation. By using that we get log of R1 minus log of R2 divided by log of A1 minus log of A2. So minus dA of 1 divided by dt and minus dA of 2 divided by dt are the initial slopes which can be determined by plotting concentrations versus time t curve for two different initial concentrations A1 and A2. So the order of reaction can be obtained with the help of this equation, that is equation number 6. This equation can be used for calculating the value of order of reaction provided the values of R1 and R2 are known. Their values can be measured by plotting the C against time, that is concentration against time. Then the value of R can be measured from the graph by measuring angle theta at different places on the curves. The value of tan theta will give the value of R, that is rate. So by using this method, that is differential method, also we can determine order of reaction. So these are 4 methods which are used to determine order of reactions, that is integrated rate equation, graphical method, half-life method, Van 't Hoff method, which is differential method used to determine order of chemical reaction. Now let us see the comparison of rate laws. We have already discussed in detail differential rate law for zero order, first order and second order reaction. Rate is equal to K0. For first order, rate is equal to K1 concentration of reactant A or K1 into A minus X. For second order, rate is equal to K2 into concentration of reactant A raised to 2 or rate is equal to K2 into concentration of reactant A, concentration of reactant B. Integrated rate law for zero order, K0 is equal to X upon T. For first order, K1 is equal to 2.303 upon T log of A upon A minus X. For second order, K2 is equal to 1 upon AT into X upon A minus X for equal initial concentration, and this one is for unequal initial concentration. So what are the rate constants? Unit of rate constant mole per liter per second for zero order, for first order per second, and for second order liter per mole per second. And also we have considered the half-life period for zero order, first order and second order reactions. So already we have discussed in previous lectures characteristics of first order, second order, zero order reactions with suitable examples. So these are some questions related to these topics. We have studied the various methods which are used to determine the order of chemical reaction. So based on this topic, these are some questions. In which of the following methods initial rate of reaction is determined by varying the concentration of the reactant while others are kept constant? Second one, if the plot of 1 upon A raised to 2 is straight line, the reaction follows. Which of the following methods is used only when the rate law involved by only one concentration term? So by using such a topic, you can solve the various questions. So in detail we have studied the methods to determine the order of chemical reaction. In next lecture, we will discuss the Arrhenius equation and also the derivation of Arrhenius equation. Thank you.